So I guess I'll say a few things about Starmer, really, because he's gone on about this. He's wanting to make assisted suicide legal or more legal or whatever. I don't really know the current status of it fully. But I'll say this. So I don't really pay much attention to Starmer's wife. I don't really know much about her. But so this is the first time I really mentioned it. I heard she's meant to be Jewish, so if Starmer's been with her for a while, which I probably should have read up on this, but I don't really want to read up about Starmer and his wife, to be honest. This whole Corbyn thing with anti-Semitism, clearly it's touched a nerve on Starmer if his wife's Jewish, the whole Corbyn thing with anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is meant to be this, well, to be honest, I don't even know what it is, I'll be honest. So, you know, I mean, I used to deliver to Jewish people for work. I always got on with them, and, you know, I don't really know too much about them other than, you know, they're just people like anyone else who've got a religion, and I know, you know, about the war and everything like that. I don't really have too much of an opinion over it other than when I talk about the gas chambers and there's something going on with them, shaping them like the ancient burial sites and tombs and things. There was some psychology going on with that, but that's not really specifically to do with Jewish people. But I think this needs to be said, right? Starmer acted to undermine, override Jeremy Corbyn from the Labour Party and ultimately have him removed from his own party, even though he's still an MP because of his unwavering following, right? Due to a religious discriminative opinion. And that wasn't even, he didn't even get prosecuted. Corbyn never even got prosecuted or charged with a crime. This is just for his opinions. It was just because of his position and stance and views on something, right? So Corbyn's never been prosecuted or been to prison. And that's just for an opinion, what you think about something. If you start putting ideas around about something, right? And I'm going to say this. Starmer's wife is Jewish, right? And the one thing that I do know about Jewish people, right, is that I know that the Jewish religion is meant to be like before, it's like First Testament. If you type it on Google anywhere about the Jewish religion, it's all meant to be, you know, before the Christian religion as we know it, you know, before this Jesus phase. It's meant to be like it's meant to be First Testament, innit? The Jewish peoples are meant to be all First Testament, right? So forgive me if I don't know what I'm talking about, but this is just like general knowledge, right? So, you know, I'm not trying to put misinformation out or have any opinion. I'm just going through what I've been taught at school or read, right? As far as I know, don't the Jews believe in the Ten Commandments? I thought the Jews were like First Testament, like Ten Commandments, you know, Moses and Mount Ararat and all that. That's what I thought. If I'm wrong, then I've been educated wrong. But I thought that it was that. I've actually just been reading a little bit of the First Testament. I ended up going on the website and I started reading like Numbers. Never really looked at, I mean, everyone knows about that Genesis, right? Everyone knows Genesis, and, you know, John Peterson's got a video out that's quoting the first part of Genesis. Most people know Genesis, but never really looked at the rest of it. And I've been looking at it when they've been going around with the tent that they had, and, you know, if anyone tried to attack it or do anything, they'd be cut down. But I don't really, there's something definitely going on when they're going around with this tent, you know, with what's the point in it all, you know? I don't really want to get too much into it because we're not going to argue about religions and relics and sacraments and all that. But, you know, simply, in the simple essence of it, I'm quite certain, I'm very, very certain that Jews or Jewish people have a connection to the First Testament of the Bible, like, and they don't agree with like what followed after it. That's as far as, that's like, if you want to simplify it, if I'm wrong, let me know that I'm wrong, right? Therefore, that they must believe in the Ten Commandments as their religion, as like a founding stone of religion. And the first of all the commandments is thou shalt not kill, right? So, if the Jewish people and an entire religion their main source and origin of their religion is maybe these stone tablets of, the Ten Commandments who have come from God, Jehovah, right? Or no, I can't pronounce it properly, right? And Moses and so forth, right? There's only 10 of these commandments, right? And one of them is thou shalt not kill, right? Now, there's an argument of whether it means kill yourself or other people, but it definitely means other humans, and because we've got to let us pray. And the Jews weren't vegetarians, so it wasn't thou shalt not kill animals, all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, right? So thou shalt not kill. Now, the thing with assisted suicide is you've got to assist them, so you are killing them. If the person completely kills themselves without any aiding and abetting, then but any other entity, person, party who engages in they're killing. They are taking part in the killing of someone. Now, in current modern law, we've got manslaughter, we've got murder, we've got grievous bodily harm. There's poisoning. There are different. It's like on the Lost Boys. Some death by stereo. Some explode, some implode, right? But it's all death, right? Killing something is dead. When you kill it, it dies and is no longer alive or living. Dead, right? So thou shalt not make things dead. Thou shalt not make things dead. How do you make something dead? Well, you proceed to kill it, right? If you don't kill it, even in the thing with a duel is this, right? In the 1700s, they started dueling, right? And the basis of dueling is this. And the magistrates tried to put a stop to it, and they brought all loads of laws out. But the basis of a duel was based on you've got a grievance with another party, right? You and another party have a grievance, right? And you decide, you both consent to settling the grievance, right? Now, in the laws of self-defense, if someone draws arms against you, you have the right to defend yourself. And if they attack you, if they die in the process of you defending yourself, you would, like in America, if someone comes into your house, you can shoot them, right? Now, the basis of the duel is that it's a consensual agreement, an oath, so they both consented to it. Now, the thing is, they both walk away from each other, so theoretically they're both walking away from a confrontation. And then they both suddenly turn on each other and draw arms at the same time. So they both attack each other at once, and then they both immediately have a legal right to defend. And then if another person gets shot while you're defending yourself, they're trying to kill you, then you're not liable. So they both aren't liable. So the idea of the duel is actually to remove legal liability because you are both acting to defend yourself at the same time against an attacker, right? And you both consented to it. Now, obviously, you can define it in law and then start to make it illegal, right? Which is what the magistrates went after them, and apparently. But, I don't think they went after them that quickly because I think with all the gambling and ripping each other off and the David Camerons and the Boris Johnsons and the scammers and the wheelers and the dealers, they like rich pickings. They liked, like this Moon guy who was going around, one of the lords, using his privilege and getting in lots of fights and battles, and he ended up, I think a lot of them ended up dying, the Moon family. They always used to get into fights and duels, and they were just part of the aristocracy, part of the peerage who got into a lot of fights and troubles and actually ultimately died. One of them died very young, like 16 or something. So it's not just poor people who died, so quite a lot of the lords and barons were, knocking each other off. And then there were all these disputes over land and property and widows petitioning Parliament, claiming that it's their land and who's getting the money off the land and who's paying off debts and all this and that. And they were using a lot of the privilege around that. And I think they put a stop to being used in civil cases. Anyway, so although I think you used to be able to be, I think you could be imprisoned if you owed a debt at one point for civil cases, but we don't do that anymore. I don't think. They just go and take the things. Although you're not even, courts aren't supposed to take people's things unless it's a felony anyway. And felony is meant to be a crime, not civil. But anyway, I think we're getting too much into law. Let's go back to the duel. So that's just a basis, self-defense. The duel is based on a cunning principle of a plotted contract of self-defense where both persons are equally liable and unliable at the same time, right? Now, the thing is, right, if any other person acts or does anything that would result in another person dying, they surely are aiding them and abetting them, even if they ask you to help, because either you're killing them or you're not. You could say, well, I'm kind of killing them, I'm kind of not killing them, or I'm only partially killing them, or I'm just helping them kill themselves. But that's still killing them. If they die, they're dead because of something that you assisted with. It's not actually. I don't think it's assisted suicide. I think that it's. Suicide is just a word for DIY, right? Suicide is like a word for B&Q, DIY. I'm off down to B&Q to get some DIY death, some hammers and nails, right? I'm going to do it myself. I'm not going to get Bob the Builder to do it or whatever. It's DIY death, right? But if Starmer help someone to, put the, fence up in the garden or build a new shed or, help them to change a wheel on the tyre, surely that's not DIY anymore because you're not doing it yourself. DIY is doing it yourself. It's not DIY, is it? It's, you've got an assistant, right? And, it could be Debbie McGee or something, it could be cutting someone in half, right? But apparently no one got cut in half. It was a conjuring trick. Killing someone in a capsule that kills them is not a conjuring trick. They're actually really dead, unless it's Prince Philip and he's disappeared early to go on holiday, for the last 20 years of his life, or something like that, We don't know. But, this is the thing. So it is killing someone. Thou shalt not kill. So it's insane. I find it absolutely bonkers, as Katie Hopkins would say. It's bonkers, right? Starmer, right? This is the guy who was a Crown Prosecutor, Chief Crown Prosecutor, right? The guy who doesn't really think what he's thinking about because, he's Prime Minister of England. He needs to think about what he's thinking about. We've got a head of MI5 now. He needs to be knowing what he's thinking about because he's looking out for Russian hackers. Yet, I've been hacked for the last 10 years messing around with my stuff, and now he's just said, oh, we've got a hacking problem, Well, that's funny. I thought it was Charles who was doing it to his own people, This is a problem. How can Starmer, right? This is actually ridiculous, right? Starmer, because of a religious facet of his wife's religion, right? Jewish, right? Because of another person saying or doing something which is slightly against that religion or disfavouring it in some way, which they've put a name on it, anti-Semitism, right? He is literally disowned Corbyn and in fact, removed him from the entire party, right? He's gone. He can't even be in the party anymore when he was the leader of the party. Yet, Starmer now wants to put legislation through Parliament to make a person partaking in the death of someone else in some way, large or small, but nevertheless, someone we'll use the word assisting, right? Someone acting which results in the death of another person, whether they get consent or not, like a duelist. Duelists both had consent. Why don't we legalise duelling again? Why don't we legalise duelling? Because after all, they both consented to it. They both consented to the duel. They both, they might have even signed a contract. Pistols, walk away, turn around, bang. Is that assisted suicide? You could say that's assisted suicide because they both consented to it. Why did the magistrates ban it and go after it, right? So you might as well ban duel. We might as well bring dueling back, right? Starmer, right, himself, not Corbyn, not Jeremy Corbyn, Starmer himself, the man, the leader of the Labour Party, was just thrown, he's just ousted the previous leader of the party, right? Starmer, right, himself wants to bring a law in England, right, which violates the prima facie, the primary, original, first commandment of God under the Jewish religion of his wife, right? You have got to be fucking kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. I mean, if you walk into a room, right, and there's a disabled person in a chair and he can't walk, right, that's something. If you walk into a room and there's a blind man who can't see, that's something. If you walk into a room and there's a turkey on the table or a pig with an apple in its mouth, right, that's something. But a man, right, who has just acted to eject the leader of one of the major two political parties in England in government because he said or did something untoward the Jewish religion of which Starmer's wife is, right? Now, Starmer himself wants to bring a law in England of which violates the primary main rule of the Jewish religion on the stone tablets that Moses brought down from Mount Ararat, right? You have got to be kidding me. There's disability and there's a disability. This man has a handicap. He's got a blind spot. And he really hasn't got a fucking clue what the flying fuck he is fucking doing. He could walk into a fucking tree, right, and knock himself out. He has not got a flying fuck of self-reflection. He does not know what the fuck he is doing at any given fucking moment in time or what he has just fucking done, right? He's absolutely common senseless. This is a man who really fundamentally does not really pay attention to himself or his own actions. And this Tony Blair says, oh, someone else's problem. Fuck him. Someone else's problem. Until we pull Tony Blair out on it and get evidence on the table. Oh, no, no, there's nasty McDonald's now. We're having salads now. Look, I've got my cherub. I'm just wearing a leaf. I'm Tony Blair. I'm invite all my posh fancy friends round and we'll just eat, mint leaves or something. I'm a health freak. Yes, Tony, you're a health freak. Now someone put a big file on the table saying you're a war criminal. Oh, now I'm a health freak. Don't shoot a health freak. I'm put my hands up in the air. I'm just an honest vegetarian. Yes, Tony. After you've completely strategically planned and implemented an entire McDonald's and Burger King and Subway fucking culture and helped entrench it into the British urban modelling of the whole country, Tony. Never mind Alan Bastard, the New Statesman. These people really don't have a flying fuck of a clue what the fuck they're doing because they don't care if it correlates. On Monday, he likes blue. On Tuesday, he likes red. On Wednesday, he denounces yellow. But on Thursday, it's his favourite fucking colour. On Friday, he kicks Corbyn out of the party because he'd said something untoward to Jews. Now, he's going to write off the entire fucking religion. The primary officer fucking rule and law of the fucking religion. There's something wrong with Starmer, seriously. And I ain't even got onto that MI5 fucking guy yet, who's going on about Russian hackers and or whatever, when it's our own country that is attacking the people. What it is it's not about the people. It's about the elites and the leaders. The tech guys want their gadgets. The scientists and the tech people want their gadgets. They want their innovation and technology. They want to make things. The Russian elites want their tech gadgets, right? And the normal people and citizens either want to go about their normal business, or the ones that are bought and sold and all the gadgets and the TV shows just want to be sheeping audiences and, yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir, buy the mobile phone sir, buy the new TV sir, buy the new smart car sir, yes sir, no sir, you come and stand in an audience and be a sheep sir, laugh at your jokes sir, clap when there's no clapping in the audience sir. They just want to be consumers, Ant and Dec, X Factor. They just want to be minions, they just want to be soldiers. Right? Yes, no, 3 bags full. They just want to, be the, literally, you don't need the sun rising on a morning when you've got, Simon Cowell on the stage. Who needs to worship the sun rising on a morning and kneel and face the sunrise when you can just worship Simon Cowell? These people, they are gods. They want to be gods. Right? And people love it, on the game show audience. So we like this. Not everyone likes it, and some people are getting fucked off with it. Big time. It's depressing people, and it's making people sad and unhappy that other people are obsessed with this, popularity, and material things and doing stuff. And Starmer, it's like Tony Blair, it's someone else's problem. Like, if you don't want to be in the crowd clapping, if you don't want to buy the new mobile phone, the new TV, the new car, you get the new Starmer houses. If you don't want to cut the jib, then fuck you, right? And if it's causing you anxiety, forget the Protection from Harassment Act. We'll even help. If it's TV shows aren't fucking killing you, then we're clearly, as comedy is not funny enough. Putin don't like it, does he? He's banned it all. Death by Starmer. This is the thing, death by Starmer. Death by Starmer's planes flying over his houses, death by Starmer's cars driving past all night, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, right? Death by obsessed celebrity gurus and worshippers, when people have had enough of it, people have had enough of the TV going, I'm all right, Jack. I'm all right, Jack. Smile. There's nothing negative on this programme. Everything goes smoothly for us. Oh, well, good for you. That's not how life really is. Life's actually not that good, but you're pretending it's good, and it would drive anyone enough to be a tramp and, turn on, tune in, drop out, because it's fake. Fake clapping, fake audience, fake eyelashes, fake. Camilla Harris... This is the thing. It's all fake, right? But if you don't go along with the fakeness of it, clap, switch on the glowing TV screen, there's something wrong with you. You're antisocial. No, we don't go along with it. We've had enough of it. And it's actually harming the other, if you don't vote for Labour, then, that's someone else's problem. Tony Blair, non-voters, might as well just go and kill themselves. If you didn't vote for Labour, apparently you don't need to, because Starmer will do it for you. Now, this is the thing. It's just absolutely mind-blowing, the insanity of this. Corbyn is removed from Labour for his views on the Jewish religion and people, right? He's banned from the Labour Party and cast out and castrated in the news, right? He's massacred in the news, right? And bullied out by Starmer, right? Now, young CPS whippersnapper, right? Now, he's writing off half the fucking Jewish religion, the cunt. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, that is like the absolute hypocrite. I mean, seriously. I mean, can we take this guy seriously? And then we've got MI5 on there going, oh, it's going to get worse now. We're having loads more hacking attacks from Russia. We're having hacking attacks from everywhere. Aren't we having hacking attacks from? We've got hacking attacks from Anonymous. We've got hacking attacks from Scammer Payback. We've got hacking attacks from his own friends. We've got hacking attacks from his own king, wanting to write off his prehistoric culture and wipe out his, pedigree and wipe out the English identity. And then we've got Putin just coming in for the sake of it because it's fun. Because, Boris Johnson and his pals want to take over Russia with NATO, with a little NATO thing. So, and I don't even know why Putin's got this deep vengeance and hatred, what he's saying that he hates England now, because, I mean, who even think, no one thinks about Russians hardly. It's not the normal people of England, right? And what half of the people in Russia left, I don't even know what Konstantin's doing with his channel, but he's definitely not in Russia anymore. He's in Tashkent, right? What it is Putin and the Russian elite, and it's NATO, and it's our government. And they like these new tech gadgets. They like the new tech, innovation and technology. They like their gadgets. They like their tech. They like their, their stuff. We've got to suffer for it. And then what the fight is, who's got the best gadgets? Has Russia got the best gadgets? Or have we got the best gadgets? Or has China got the best gadgets? And what they're doing is they're having a fight over who's got the best gadgets, and they're fucking with them, with us. They're dicking with us, and they're gonna have cameras up his asses, and then the media are just fucking musing over it all. And it is absolutely not the fault of the normal people of any of these countries. It's not the fault of the Russian people. It's not the fault of the British people. And it's not the fault of the European people. It is these leaders, and I say companies. Yet the companies are flying around on private jets and have got businesses and companies through all these countries, except from Putin, who's kicked some of them out. But, yet, why is it that Putin's idea of these stringent laws, you're not allowed to take the mick out of any of the leaders, and so forth, that seems to be the way that the Americans are going. It seems to be the way that they want to go in Europe. And it seems to be the way that in England, at least in Scotland, they're wanting to, record every single step, breath, and tap that you've done on record and legislate, regulate it, which is no fun for anyone. And social points. We've already got social points because unless you've got 10,000, once they get all these, if they put all this social media control and law in, then they can say who and what is popular, who can be and can't be popular, and who can and can't be influential. And then it's points, who's got the highest scores and channels, and then if not, you're a loser, which is like Tony Blair. That's someone else's problem, right? And then if you get depressed through that process, then, fuck you, Starmer will help knock you off. So we're fucked because these people at the top are fucking us all. And that's the basis of my argument. That is the argument. Ant and Dex Saturday Night Check Out, fuck everyone else. Simon Cowell, show must go on, fuck everyone else, right? O2 Arena, sell out, fuck everyone else. These people are fucking maniacs, right? And that MI5 fucking guy leader needs to realise, right, that it's too much. These people are absolute control freaks. It's all about pure glory. It's about material things. It's about controlling the masses. It's about gross excess. It's Starmer. He's a star, right? Now, Tech Gadget Man is less, he's been on TV, but, that's not his priority, although, he doesn't mind being the MI5 leader. You have to appear in a few TV programs, but, he just got the T-shirt on, I love tech. He's got the I Love Tech T-shirt on, and MI5, he doesn't want his new ULEZ camera scheme spoiled, right? MI5 leader doesn't want his new ULEZ camera scheme spoiled that the Mayor of London's bought him because they're going to be using that for the police, right? And he doesn't want Big Brother Watch to succeed and ban facial recognition because I like tech, I like Doctor Who. I like, you go buy a sonic screwdriver. Go down to Toy Master, buy a sonic screwdriver. I'm selling Doctor Who toys. I am MI5 leader. Also helping the BBC sell toys. Sonic screwdrivers and other things. And here's my new Department of Technology and Innovation. I like tech. I'm not going to give my tech up when I like it. We want to be the world leaders in tech, so if we're not using that, in the surveillance and streets and cameras and implementing it in the facial recognition, then I can't enjoy my tech that I like, and I want more of it, just like they're doing in China. China have got loads of tech. Why can't we have loads of tech? Because we don't need it. Well, we'll fucking need it when Russia's finished fucking hacking us. Beware of the Russians, Oh, it's Putin. That's funny. He likes tech as well. Hey, you guys want a freeway tech, it's like fucking, it's like fantasy role playing. I'll be the bad Russian guy who's trying to take over the world, and you can be the English guys, and we'll have the NATO there. And then there's, Camilla Harris who's trying to take everyone's rights away. Okay, then, let's Cluedo, right? Let's play. And what about normal people going about the business in the countries? We are the ones who are suffering. We are the victims. And I don't see why any person on the face of this planet should stand up, right, and fight in any war, with any tank, with any weapons or anything. Just say fuck off, right, and get back to what you're doing. And that's what we tried to do in World War II, but they forced us all into making camouflage nets and bombs and planes. It was compulsory. They made it, you got to do it whether you like it or not. And then, we can write off half of Plymouth, ancient maritime city, because these places need rebuilding, just like we need somewhere to build and rebuild. The only law worth making in NATO, in European law, a world global law should be that any country or city that is damaged through a war conflict, right, no company shall make a profit from its rebuilding, right? It should be not for profit, right? Construction companies and builders should have to work as if they were the government who just got blown up. Therefore, they're all like, oh, it's the local council, right? It's a local council department, right? It's not for profit. Obviously, they've got to get the materials from somewhere, but they don't make a profit out of it, right? So companies should be formed which actually are the government itself rebuilding it. So the government's rebuilding it itself, right? Not for profit. Not companies rebuilding it for the government for a profit, because then there won't be an incentive to have wars, right, and blow things up, because there won't be any money to be made out of it. This is the thing, look at all this money made out of the tanks anyway. That's, if you're going to make that, you got Scott Ritter going weapons testing. Oh, we've made some laws. I've got to go check your weapons comply and conform to the regulations before we have this fight. Well, we'll make sure that no one's going to be making any money out of it, but we don't want all those people in Ukraine to be dying just so some companies can make some money out of rebuilding the city, do we? Make sure that it's not for profit afterwards. The government will have to form special building projects which aren't for profit, That should be the first law that is made in the world. But then it won't be any good for Putin because he probably owns half those companies. This is the thing. Or some of his pals do. we need to get a grip on these people. And these wars are there because the citizens have had enough. The citizens have had enough, and we're being punished now by these wars. The leaders are sending us at each other to punish us because we don't want to be subject to their new surveillance, facial recognition bit that Tony Blair wants to implement, mechanisms of implementation, so then he can have us like China, all, fully automated, and every single, breath measured, metric, to see how every time you breathe, they know how much air you breathed out. Oh, you slightly breathed out a little bit more, too much oxygen there. This is the thing. We need to stop these I like tech people, because it's ruining the quality of life. We need to designate a continent, right? We need to designate somewhere. I don't know where. Australia, South America, I don't know where. But we need to designate a place, right? And call it, right, Cuckoo Land. This is not a joke. And we need to send celebrities there from all over the world, like Cowell, Anton fucking Deck, Winkleman, Ball, Vine, all these people, right, who are fucking obsessed with being on TV, right? And then send them all over there, right? And then anyone who wants to be a minion sheep and just spend their life in an audience facing one way, not even facing each other, and just clapping like a nonce, right, needs to fuck off, right? Fuck off to the nonce continent of Cuckoo Land, right? Don't matter what country you're from, right? Russia, America, whatever, right? We need to send them over there, and they can just fuck off with those celebrities, and they can fucking soak up the fucking bullshit, right? And then the rest of the world can get their TVs and just chuck them in the skip like they did when they had the mass book burnings, and bonfire night, right? We'll make a religious ceremony out of it. We'll chuck the fucking phones in the fucking skip and the TVs, and then everyone else can get to the normal life, and no one will want to commit suicide then because no one will be fucking depressed with all these celebrities like rubbing everyone's fucking face in it, oh, ain't everything going well for me? Everything's amazing and brilliant, Good for you. Good for you. Fuck off. Good for you. You're at the top of the seesaw, I'm at the bottom, and that's why Starmer wants me fucking dead, because I've got, 26 fucking stone on me and 18 fucking pounds of fucking Donalds in me, and I'm depressed as fuck, and Starmer wants to finish me off, right? But then he's not going to be at the top of the seesaw again when I get off the cunt, because he's going to come back down again. This is the problem with these people, right? We need to bring them back down from Cuckoo Land to a normal fucking reality where it's not all pretend life. When you go into shops, everyone does not say yes. When you ask to do things, people do not say yes. It's on TV, it is pretend. They're pretending that everything is happy and perfect. It is not. And then if you do not go believe that it's happy and perfect, like Starmer says, and when you actually know the reality of it is it's not happy and perfect, it's actually quite bad, right? And then your government wants to bump you off because you're not towing the line. You don't like all this, pretend perfection business. That's a problem, But anyway, back to the point. How, seriously, Corbyn, anti-Semitism. What an absolute crock of shit. A man who has expelled Corbyn, the leader, from his party for his views on Jews. And now the man who expelled him, exodused him from the party, wants to bring a law in which is against the main fucking religious principle of that fucking religion. What fucking drugs is Starmer on? What drugs is Starmer on? He's on something, right? He needs to find the tent. He needs to erect a tent, right? And he needs to go into this tent and he needs to put his head in the ark and soak up something. Maybe get Angela Rayner there. He needs to connect some dots, connect some lines, right? How can a man expel an other man from leading a party because of his views against the Jews when he himself is wanting to bring a law in that violates the principle, commandment of that religion? How?